All right, what's going on, Woody? How you doing, man? Just JB of RealTWC at SVW. Everyone is just hanging out right now, chilling out. We got payback from what is this? From the freaking Thunderdome days.
I'm trying to rewatch the match. That they actually hid this from the on the network for a long time because you didn't want to see how terrible the match was when Roman first won the Universal Championship.
Right.
But with Payback coming back next month, they decided to put it back on. So
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm watching it before they take it off again.
So let's get to it. We're going to talk about SummerSlam and the results from SummerSlam, the fallout from SummerSlam. So what would you give SummerSlam, what rating would you give SummerSlam 2023?
Overall, I think it was a solid B+.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What match stood out to you the most? Like, what match do you think stole the show?
That's a tough one. I think Cody Brock really was kind of like the main event, even though without the title, I think they finished that story well.
Okay.
Although we don't know why the story started in the first place, but whatever that was, they still finished it really well, and it was a good, fun match. But I think the match that stole the show was the Triple Threat Women's match.
Actually, yeah, that was a good match. That was really good.
I mean, Bianca Belair on her Bret Hart style, like I'm injured, but I'm coming back.
Right.
Some amazing spots, and then to see like. Is that the kind of beats the joy of someone's first championship?
Yeah.
And Io Sky looked like legitimately so happy in the ring. That it was awesome.
And if I may ask, because we were talking about this when we were watching it, did Bianca really have to win the title for 30 seconds? What are your thoughts on that? Like, or do you think just Asuka just should have kept the title and lost? I
think we're looking at more reasons for Bianca to turn heel.
Okay.
And I think this lies into that now. Like, this is like a good, she's even more pissed off that she tasted it again, but didn't get it. And I think that could be kind of good for that. I mean, Asuka holding could have been fine. As long as Charlotte didn't get number 15 on the 30 seconds, that's the only thing that would have actually pissed me off. But no, I think I want like a jilted Bianca.
I would love to see Bianca heel.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. In terms of the bloodline storyline and everything with Roman versus Jay, what are your thoughts on the match, and what are your thoughts on the swerve with Jimmy Uso turning on his brother?
Okay. Well, as for the match, what is the point of doing a tribal match?
The
tribal combat match, and then having very specific rules, and then not adhering to said rules about no interference when they get interference, like multiple interference. So the match should have been DQ'd already, and then Jay should get a rematch. The solo swerve is an obvious, it's not even a swerve at this point. It's just like, when is he going to interfere?
Yep.
Not if. And the Jimmy of it all is... It bums me out so much. There are a few things that piss me off more watching a pay-per-view or a PLE. Like, stay tuned for next Friday to have some sort of explanation as to what you just watched. Like, the go-home portion of the night, the headline match of the night, should not leave you scratching your head or booing. Like, there's good heel work and there's bad storytelling, and I think this is bad storytelling. I think they're trying to remix too many of the Bloodline members around to try to stretch it and prolong it, but stretching it's not always the right move, and they might be getting a little thin at this point.
I mean, thin is arguably it's arguably an understatement, man, because like this has been going on for, I think it's about 3 years. It's going to be 3 years soon, very soon. It's going to be 3 years since this has been going on, since Roman Reigns returned, and I feel like they're squeezing as much. I don't even know what juice is left in this. Like, I like it. I understand there's twists and turns with the Bloodline storyline that I think have been unexpected and have been great moments, ups and downs, and that's what's going to happen when you have a 3-year storyline. But I'm just wondering, like, where the end game with this is, and what do you think that could be? Do you think it's Cody versus Roman?
The end game is Cody and Roman at WrestleMania.
Again? Yeah.
But that's...
You got to get there.
They have to. They're trying to get there, and they're trying to just like limp along and put Roman in as few matches as possible.
Right.
And this is why they should have pulled the trigger last Mania. as excited as I am to see it happen here in Philly, you know, they should have pulled the trigger last Mania.
Agreed.
The Bloodline could still have this amazing storyline for the Tribal Chief and not the title.
Yep.
You know, you could have given him another title, give him the U.S. title, give him the one Seth Rollins had. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like, they're holding the title hostage. They're telling a bad story, and it's becoming stale. And I love the Bloodline. I think this has been a great last 3 years of a run.
Yeah, it's been an amazing storyline.
But they are limping to the finish.
Yeah.
That's not how you want to do it. Now, it seems like it's blowing up here, and you could get the classic. I keep hearing this Survivor Series with an
Fatal Four-Way.
Uso in every corner.
Yep.
Fatal Four-Way.
Yep.
But Roman will still win the belt.
Yep.
And then you're going to Rumble, and he's not really going to have it that might be the last time you see him wrestle for the belt besides Mania.
Yep.
And you're going to have a serious situation where he'll have wrestled at maybe 2 to 3 times in a full year to defend the belt. 2 to 3 times in a full year as your main champion.
Might have worked in the 80s, but this is a different era, so that's kind of, I know, that's a, you know, not asking for much here, but like 2 or 3 times in a year, that's, yeah, agreed.
It's I mean, he must have the best contract of all time because the storyline is terrible.
Oh man, so on to some let's go away from the Bloodline for a second and still stick with SummerSlam and talk about a really fast rising star. What are your thoughts on the rise of LA Knight and his victory at SummerSlam?
I mean, they did it right. They did it right where they were holding him back. They're holding it back, and they give him this Slim Jim push, which he's going to be a great spokesperson for Slim Jim. Like, it's so perfect. Snap into a Slim Jim, like it's almost as good as the Savage Man himself. You know, I don't know what else they want to do with him right now. I'm excited to see it as long as I keep getting him in short bursts. I don't think he's the guy that can hold a pipe bomb length promo. But I think if you can go back and forth, especially with someone as talented as The Miz, I think you can really see him, like, they can build him a little bit more, maybe get an IC or a US title run on him. But all in all, I'm interested to see what they do with it because his style is entertaining as hell.
For sure.
Excuse me.
Of course.
I'm sweating.
Chris, do you have any comments on your thoughts about LA Knight?
Yeah. Listen, you gotta let it burn if it's hot, right?
Right.
So they didn't ask for it; it showed up, and I think that's the whole reason why they're taking their time is because they weren't ready for this success, and they need to make it make sense. I think they had intentions for like Escobar to go after Theory,
right?
And like it was very calculated, but like the LWO has lost a lot of steam, I think. So I think LA Knight now is like the logical next one up for that title. The Miz would be a good dancing partner. I think Austin Theory could be fun, but I think Dude's Aces.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned LA Knight and The Miz. Did you see that promo on Monday night?
Yeah, he had a flub, but you know that happens.
All right, I want to talk about this. I was talking about this with some crewmates, and I thought for a second that Miz kind of got LA Knight for a little bit in the beginning. Miz kind of came with some fire, and I was like, dude, like, look, I felt LA Knight recovered, but I'm really, maybe I'm nitpicking here a little bit too much, but I saw some cracks a little bit.
No, listen, what I saw.
So what do you think about that?
What I saw is the first round goes to The Miz. You know, he won that. He won that first war of words. But we were talking about this earlier today. Similar to his back and forth with Enzo Amore, where he hit home and it hurt. There are sometimes when someone comes out there on the mic and tells you nothing but the truth, right, that it can be really hard to hear. Yeah, Enzo did not bounce back from it, and it was really like the beginning of the end of his career. I think LA Knight bounces back from it.
I hope so. I think, you know, I'm not saying I think he'll bounce back, and I think he's just as over. It's an incredible story. and we'll see what happens with that.
Well, there's nothing the Miz said that we haven't don't keep hearing in
Exactly.
every interview with him and stuff like that. So I think he was meant to take that one on the shin.
Right.
And then we'll see what happens after that.
All right. Yeah, that's really all I have to ask about SummerSlam, and thanks for giving your 2 cents. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I could say there are 2 reasons I gave it a B+.
Okay.
One is the Jimmy of it all. I disagree with that whole thing. Makes no sense, man. Why would you attack your own brother? Like, maybe there's going to be a good reason for it, but the fact that I don't know that already, and now I still don't know it, and I'm days after SummerSlam is stupid. But another huge reason is another missed opportunity because they wanted to stretch a storyline even longer. Finn should have been the champion.
I actually agree.
And
I actually agree. He had the 7. I was like, man, just give this man Seth Rollins. Not to interrupt Woody, but Seth Rollins can totally lose a championship and still be a relevant guy because he's that damn good.
Does not need the championship. Doesn't bring Seth Rollins up. Like, he just has the championship, and that's great. He's a great champion.
Yep.
But the belt doesn't elevate him. The belt would elevate Finn back to where we need him to be, which is near the top of the card. Not only that, it would cause some amazing internal struggle between him and Damian and Judgment Day. And that storyline of, like, the constant looking over your back, looking over your shoulder. You would need JD McDonough to really be his, like, actual best friend in this situation. Who's like, JD would just be there to look after Damian and make sure Damian doesn't jump him. He would be there but never fully trust him. It makes so much more sense than him not trusting him now. And also, you have to suspend disbelief for a little while when it comes to wrestling. But how the hell did Seth walk out of that ring? Like, you just had, like,
the entire stable, everybody.
Yeah, you had everyone throw down, an amazing match. You beat to hell. You almost lost. Damian's right there. Dom's right there. Rhea's right there. Like, jump that fool.
Judgment Day's been hot.
Crap out of him.
Yep, they've been hot too.
Have Damian pin him and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Finn doesn't win, then it has to be Damian wins.
Right.
The fact they did neither made no sense and pissed me off.
You think it kind of makes Judgment Day look a little stupid?
Yeah.
Right.
They're supposed to be smarter, better, stronger, faster, all that.
Yeah.
Like, now they don't look smarter.
Right. They look fumbling, like a bunch of bumbling idiots because of that.
You couldn't figure out a simple plan. It just there's no reason they should be doing nothing to make them look strong, and you made them look weak that one. And I don't care for it. So like I said, they definitely messed that one up. Besides those 2 things, I was pretty much on board with everything, especially like. I probably would have had it at a B, but the Brock giving the unscripted arm raise to Cody, I really dug that. That was a cool moment. That's a moment I think that, like, you're going to see that in video packages for a long time.
That's great you mentioned that because I actually forgot to mention that. So that was really cool of seeing Brock raise Cody's hand. Do you think what me and the other crew members saw in that moment? I felt like it was basically co-signing Cody as, like, Mania. It's a wrap. That's how I kind of looked at it. Dude, I mean, come on.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah.
This is listen. Chris out here buying up every one of Cody cards that he can get.
Adrenaline in my soul.
Bought the biggest Cody card you could buy last night.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's sick.
The guy accepted my offer, but
isn't he like the biggest? Any like the biggest like 3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, he's the future of WWE, right?
Yeah.
Like, he may not have it as consecutively, but for the next 5 years, this is the guy who represents the company. There you go.
It won't. You won't have the reign that Roman has right now.
But he's gonna have a reign.
But he's gonna be
when
the.
it's all said and done, like, his story, right? That's what this all is, right? This is not like a next year WrestleMania play. This is like, hey, this guy is good enough to be John Cena, right? Make a wish. Never
he
heel.
has that. I got
Guy's
you.
never going heel, dude.
Yeah.
Right? I could be wrong. Y'all know better than me. I'm just saying, I think he's the cash cow for a bunch of reasons. I could see him as an X-Men. You know what I mean? I could see him in movies. And to be honest, I want to see Roman. Yo, you gave us a lot, dude. It's going to be cluttered if you're around. Take like a hiatus.
Right.
Do your movie thing whenever they figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's always kind of been the math. Once they figure out, like, all right, Cena's so big, he's got other things coming.
Right.
I think Roman's about to prove himself, maybe outside of WWE.
He's preparing for it.
I just want to see, like, because if he's around, you got to keep him busy. Not like necessarily like he's not going to wrestle on pay-per-views, but like the storyline has to make sense.
For sure.
Listen, whatever gets Roman off my TV and make me happy. Drop the belt, walk away, and you know, wounded and rolling away or riding off into the sunset. I don't care. Just I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done. It's been too many years of him headlining every stupid pay-per-view. I'm so over it.
And to go from that, and you know, no disrespect to Roman on from RealTWC, but you know, they really tried. Chris, Roman, the whole crew here. They for sure. They really pushed Roman Reigns like, and it finally, after what, 6 years? 8 years. Finally found something. So I agree. It's, you know.
I know you said no disrespect to Roman from the TWC, and I get that. But I want you to know plenty of disrespect to Roman from the SVW. You know what I mean? Like, I will not. If you came in here, I'd be like, yo, man, it's so great to meet you. You're a great wrestler. Can you drop the belt already? Oh, my God. Be done. Go home. Don't you have kids? Go see them, man. Let Paul do something else.
Right.
You're holding all my favorite things hostage. I love the belt. I love Heyman. I love Solo.
Right.
Please go away and let these guys do something.
Yup. I hear that. I feel that. Well, you know, we'll see what happens with, you know, I think that that Roman is definitely, he's preparing and I don't want to say in-game, but definitely he's going to, once he drops the title, whenever that is, hopefully Mania. I wouldn't mind beforehand, actually, but probably Mania 40 in Philly. Hopefully after that, he can, you know, just, as Chris said, just kind of walk away a little bit. And to Chris's point, you know, Cody has, I will say, he has the family. He has the merch his merch is amazing. Like, when we were at Mania in LA, the merch was everywhere. Like the logo. The more you think about it, he has checks off all the boxes.
Also, the dude is like amazing in interviews.
Yeah.
He's the most personal personal person in the thing. Also, every single person who meets him says he's the nicest guy ever. Mm-hmm. Every wrestler likes to wrestle with him. He's a safe worker. He doesn't injure people.
Right.
He has the family. He has the wife who could come in and be a ring announcer or a wrestler or just an on-screen personality of any kind.
Right.
And he's got his daddy, Dusty Rhodes. Mm-hmm. You know, that history in there. Bring back Goldust. Have something there. You know, it never ends
all there
with him.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he lives and breathes it. He's a historian. Mm-hmm. You know, he's studied this his whole life. There's no one better for it. And he doesn't seem to have a real big ego. I mean, everyone's gonna have some sort of ego if you're that high up,
of course.
But like, yeah, he seems to be slightly humbled by this whole situation as well. Because he fought for it so hard.
Yeah, definitely.
He earned everything he has right now. And he has an amazing story.
Definitely.
There's no reason that guy should not be, at least like Chris said, I give him 5 good years.
Right.
Of running this. And then maybe 3 years in of just a gnarly heel turn. And let me like really sink my teeth into that, you know?
Cody in a leather jacket. That's all you need.
Yeah. With that logo in the back. That leather jacket with the logo in the back. What? Maybe the logo is like bleeding a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's crazy. And let him get rid of his white hair. It's insane. It's like easy. It's easy.
You'd all just, y'all all write it down. Well, I want to say thanks y'all for the time. I know y'all working, doing your thing. I appreciate y'all having me interview y'all on this Thursday afternoon. Appreciate it, and sign off.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep, no problem.